Perfect. Hey, Teddy here. Today, not only do I have some important news extras, but also news I'd like to give out, but also have some things I need to address. First off, let's get off with the news, shall we? I'm sure all of you are probably wondering what is going on with the next episode of Casual Reviews with bearRimshot right now. Well, as of right now, I'm still watching Disney movies. Still in the Disney movie watching process. And I bet you're all wondering what movie am I watching right now. Well, as I'm currently recording this, I just finished up The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and now I'm going to be watching the Tigger movie. So as I'm recording this, I just started going past Walt Disney's death. But yeah. And I'm sure, and also, in case you haven't noticed, also, as for whether or not you guys are expecting any upcoming videos coming soon to my YouTube page, well, during the springtime, you guys can expect me to release, of course, my first ever annual viewer's choice, which in this case, My Little Pony 1. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys that I really did not expect My Little Pony 1, you know? Because keep in mind, the only reason why I allowed you guys to vote for My Little Pony, only if you guys want to, is because I'm sure all of you are probably going to be asking me, why would I bother allowing you guys to vote for Steamed Ham's Dub based on My Little Pony being made? Now, if I can be completely honest with you, now when it comes to something like My Little Pony, as much as I honestly despise the idea of including My Little Pony characters into my crossover projects, considering the fact of how that I always have to deal with certain people doing sexual things towards me. I have to admit about myself that I do come to the realization of how that there are people within my fan base who actually like the idea of including My Little Pony characters in my crossover projects, especially in Epic Battles, which explains why, as you guys can all probably tell, I decided to give it a second chance, see if you guys any of you guys would vote for it, and oh boy, did the grand majority of you guys actually vote for it. However, after Steamed Ham's dubbed by My Little Pony is finished, the next Steamed Ham's dub I'll be making after My Little Pony would be Donald Duck. And, yeah. And also, and now I have something else. I have a piece of another news that I, as a fellow gamer, would like to talk about, as well as somebody who wants to get into game design only for fun. Yes. I know this might seem off topic, but considering how relevant it is to me personally, I just knew I had to talk about this. In case you all haven't noticed, earlier this year, back in January, the Wii Shop channel sadly closed down. Why do I bother talking about it? Well, to be very honest with you guys, when it comes to making Battle of the Groups into a video game, I have to, and ever since when I first started making Battle of the Groups in general, I always was excited to release I was always hoping that I could release Battle of the Groups onto the Nintendo Wii. Because here's the thing about the Wii. Because when you take a look at the Nintendo Wii in general, not only could you play your entire... There are lots of good things to say about the Wii. You could play your entire GameCube game collection if you want. And when playing games like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, for example, You can use your GameCube controller if you wanted to. As well as, of course, you're able to play some other old games on the system as well. Though unlike with GameCube games where they have to be all physical, for those released for systems like NES, Super NES, Nintendo 64, and Genesis, they'll have to be all digital, you know? And of course, the best part about the Wii, however, the best selling point about the Wii would be the fact that, well, you could play certain games using motion controls. More namely, when you're playing sports video games, like Wii Sports, Wii Fit, or the Mario, or Mario Kart Wii, or Mario Superstars, or any Mario Sports games that comes to the Wii, as well as playing games like No More Heroes, as well as some Star Wars games that come to the Wii, like Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars, and Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Yeah, when it comes to the Wii, what fascinates me personally about the Wii would be about when I do, if I could ever port Battle of the Groups onto the Wii, this is the moment where I would give players, when you have players using Wii remotes the Wii remote on their hands, this is the moment where each player would be given the option to. This is the moment where each player would be given the option to use motion controls only if desired to. Like, say you're playing a certain sport, like baseball, for example, or basketball, or soccer, or whatever. Or that kind of stuff. Or even football, or tennis, or even swimming. Or even your favorite board game where you're able to use an army of pieces like checkers, chess, Risk, Trouble, Sorry, or pretty much any of those kinds of games, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is where you get all the good stuff. However, because the Wii Shop channel has been discontinued, this means a Wii port of Battle of the Groups would be cancelled. So if you guys ever expect Battle of the Groups to come on any other systems besides the Play Table, well, for the time being, you guys might as well expect it to be released on PC, which should not only hopefully include Windows, but also including Mac and Linux as well as on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Switch, maybe the PlayStation 3, maybe the Xbox 360, and maybe the Wii U. But as for the PlayStation 2, you guys may be wondering, well, absolutely not, I'm sad to say. Why is that about the PlayStation 2? Well, maybe True may have been the system that brought us the entire Sly Cooper trilogy, as well as that same exact gaming console which would also mark the first time we were ever given the option to play our entire DVD collection, play any movies from our entire DVD collection onto a gaming system. The biggest downside that there is when it comes to porting Battle of the Groups onto the PlayStation 2 is you can only play physical games on a PlayStation 2, not digital games. Which means in this case, if I could port Battle of the Groups onto PlayStation systems, it'll most likely be PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, and PlayStation 4. Other than that, well, from Microsoft, you can expect me to port it onto Xbox 360 and Xbox One, as well as Wii U and Nintendo Switch. I'm sure all of you are probably going to be asking me, how can it be possible if I could port battle groups not just onto systems like Playtable, but also on actual gaming consoles like the PlayStation 4, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch, as well as PC, as well as, of course, mobile devices like iOS and Android. Well, keep in mind that based on how you guys can all play Battle of the Groups once it's released, it would be made digitally. Why is that? Well, not only can it take a lot of work when it comes to me making it, but also there is also the factor that when you're doing something with something like epic battles, you have to keep an open mind about the fact that you're doing something with a franchise, with a certain franchise that already contains lots and lots of copyrighted material, lots and lots of trademark material, as well as using people's names and likenesses. So because of all that, that's because I decided to make it a free game to play. A fan game in this case, Considering of what makes it better for me to make it a free game rather than a paid game is because, it's not, don't get me wrong, I love to make money, but the problem is that if I make money off of this game, like say if I make people pay to play that game, chances are I can likely get sued from any of their respective rightful owners, and where I can easily get sued. Whereas when I make battle groups free to play, I wouldn't have, unlike say I were to make it paid, I wouldn't have to worry about getting to be sued as much as say I were to make it a paid game. Considering the fact of how that, as I mentioned before, as you guys can probably tell, when doing something with epic battles in general, when you take a look at epic battles for yourself in general, you guys will notice that it contains lots and lots of copyrighted material, lots and lots of trademarked material, and lots and lots of using people's names and likenesses, because most of the characters that you guys normally get to see making into epic battles, as you guys can probably tell, are usually copyrighted. Not to say we would say no to the idea of including public domain characters into epic battles. I mean, look at Ebenezer McScrooge. He got to play in the world of epic battles. He got to be in the world of epic battles so much up to the point he even got to be a group leader. But other than that, yeah, most of the characters that you guys see include are normally copyrighted. And most of the people who you guys see pop up in epic battles are still alive. Or no. But, yeah. And enough talk about Battle of the Groups. I have some other things I need to talk about as well. This time, let's get on to the discussion in regards to AzuchiGuardian. Yes, Eldon, I know how much you're sick and tired of me talking about AzuchiGuardian, but here's the thing. If you saw my last two update vlogs, if you saw my last two update vlogs, you'll notice that there wasn't even anything new I had to counter. However, if there's anything I need to counter right now, well, there's one thing that needs to be addressed, Originally, I was supposed to talk about in my fall 2018 update vlog, but for whatever reason, well, I had other things to talk about, but yeah, But either way, I'm going to talk about it where it needs to be talked about. Now, if you've been watching me since 2015, then you guys would notice that I would always go all ranting and raving about some of AzuchiGuardian's evil doings. Like, say AzuchiGuardian would, how can I put this? Would do something to bug me, one way or another. Like when he trolls me, one way or another. But yeah, this is where it gets certain people like AzuchiGuardian himself, for example, under the impression that I would want to stop him from making videos. Now I know I may have talked about this once before, 2 years ago. However, I am gonna say this again. Okay. As much as I hate AzuchiGuardian more for how he's been personally treating me, and some of my affiliates as well, keep in mind I have never said that I would want to stop AzuchiGuardian from making videos in general. I mean, if AzuchiGuardian wants to make videos, more power to him. It just what made me feel like protesting against him would all come down to all those moments when he felt like bullying me, one way or another. Because when we speak about all the moments when AzuchiGuardian feels like bullying me or any of my affiliates, whether it be Nicholas Sentra, Rowdy C, or Manic Expression, whatever, it's where I draw the line because bullying is obviously never okay to do, That's what's been bugging me about AzuchiGuardian for years now, He doesn't even know when to shut up, and he doesn't even know when to move on for me to begin with. And I know there are some people who like to claim that I can't move on from him. Now here's the reality of me when it comes to all that. Truth be told, I've been moved on from him, especially when I'm not vlogging. Just be lucky, outside of doing several update vlogs, there have been times when I did not need to talk about him. Like, for example, most of the special vlogs I've done so far, normally I don't have, as you guys can probably tell, if you guys actually watch most of my special vlogs, you guys can probably tell I do not have a need to talk about him at all. Sure, there may have been some where I do discuss about him, like in the grand majority of the Mr. Coda Wars vlogs I do, as well as, likewise, when I talked about him in one MagFest special vlog. Hell, when I do work on my other project, when I do casual reviews, keep in mind, when I do casual reviews of bearRimshot in general, I really don't need AzuchiGuardian at all to begin with, Considering what a big ugly rapist he is, Also, when I do my side projects, I don't even bother talking about him at all if I don't see a need to, But yeah, when it comes to AzuchiGuardian, I've been moved on from him. The downside is, well, I have no problems moving on from him. He has issues moving on from me, and he literally does the same crap to everyone. He did so with Derek House, aka the video punk of mine. I will say I've been chatting with him lately on Facebook. He seems like a generally nice guy and very understanding of me as much as he possibly can. He seems nice. Don't know why some people treat him like dirt. But yeah. And then of course you got Tim Singleton, aka the Terminator. Now if you guys don't see AzuchiGuardian upload any more videos featuring the likeness of Tim Singleton, aka the Terminator, that's probably because, well, as you guys can probably tell by now, if you don't see AzuchiGuardian upload any new videos using the likeness of Tim Singleton, that's because Tim, as you guys can see, to keep this long story short, has actually been retired from reviewing in general. I'm sure some of you may be asking me, what about his collaborations with Kyle Pacone? Well, that is now long dead, Kyle's moved to New Jersey, as I mentioned before, and Tim Singleton has been busy working, So I'm going to ask everybody, especially you, AzuchiGuardian, to please respect Tim's space if he wants it, don't get me wrong, Tim and I are both still good friends despite all that. Tim and I are both still cool, just like, yeah. And like I mentioned before, when I see Tim, it's usually at ARC when I see him. Nothing more. And then of course another person he would deal with the same crap with would be Bruno this Portuguese alternative historian by the name of Bruno. I mean, if he doesn't want to make any more sagas, that's his choice. I would respect that wish. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do have ideas I'd like to share, but if he doesn't want to do sagas, that's Bruno's choice. And then of course you got Fallen Angel Pyrex, who was actually a voice actor on Heartless Winter, whether you believe it or not. Then for whatever reason they both came and got into a fight, and got Fallen Angel Pyrex and her Belgian boyfriend under the impression of what a big cash-grabbing Nazi AzuchiGuardian is, you know? Because this is what happens when you make people feel bad. Is you're showing people that all you care about is nothing but money and fame. But, yeah. But in all seriousness, yeah. I don't mind if someone like, say, AzuchiGuardian wants to make videos. As long as, you know, he's not doing anything malicious towards me or any of my affiliates personal. As long as it doesn't attack me personally or any of my affiliates. Which also includes, but not limited to, Nicholas Centra, Rowdy C, and Manic Expression, you know? Even though in the case of Rowdy C, I'm no longer a part of the website. I mean, in case you're wondering what happened, and no, people, this is not another Caleb Korger situation. I can say that for a fact, from still good friends with the person who owns the website himself, you know? With Rowdy C himself. Just, well, yeah. He wants to keep things to himself, which I can respect, you know? Besides, I mean, I come to realize that joining another website is not necessarily a need for me to get famous anyways, you know? Considering the fact that Blip is now closed down. Sort of troubling Blip has been, and they've been gone, well, for, oh my god, for almost 4 years, but yeah. And, yeah. And speaking of which, let's get on with the WTFUs I have to counter. Now, first off, would come from, well, AzuchiGuardian in this case. Now, in case you guys haven't noticed, now, in the first part of Casual Reviews of bearRimshot, what is a public apology, you guys would most likely notice that I did actually reveal AzuchiGuardian's real name in there. I'm sure all of you are probably going to be asking me why the hell would I do such a thing. If I can be very honest, yes, I did that on purpose. And, you know, and when you speak about the intro, as can be seen in Casual Reviews of bearRimshot, what is a public apology, I just knew I had to be very honest with you guys on what went wrong from back when I was making when I speak about the final product of Casual Reviews with bearRimshot, Return to Neverland. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love talking about how much I love Return to Neverland. It's just the fact that, well, the final product, as you guys can probably tell when looking back at it, is just a major train wreck to begin with, you know? Like, for example, one thing about the Return to Neverland review I did back in 2015 that I always get complaints about, would be surrounding the jokes, you know? Not only were they too irrelevant to the subject matter, but also they were too mature, you know? And like I mentioned before, if I were to make an episode of Casual Reviews of bearRimshot where I would intentionally give out a memorial honor of Kitty 0706, the best place for me to be able to do so would most likely have to be a countdown dedicated to South Jersey Sam. Not a Return to Neverland review. But yeah, that's why when I made the joke, when I made episodes beginning with what is a public apology, I just knew how to make sure every joke was clean and relevant to the subject matter. Which are pieces of criticism I always personally got in regards to the Return to Neverland review I made, in regards to casual reviews of bearRimshot Return to Neverland. But yeah. And some other WTFUs to make up would be in regards to someone who was ironically an influence to me by the name of Jaimetud. Now, for those who don't know, in parts 2 and 3 of Casual Reviews of bearRimshot, what is a public apology, I actually used clips of Jaimetud's videos, and I did that on purpose. Here's why that is. I'm sure a lot of you are all probably going to be asking me, how is it that based on what I did to Jaimetud is considered to be fair use, but based on what AzuchiGuardian is doing to me in regards to Casual Reviews of bearRimshot is not fair use? Okay, here's the thing. Based on what AzuchiGuardian is doing to me surrounding Casual Reviews of bearRimshot, he'd actually be claiming rights to it without bother asking me permission to do something with the show creatively. Even if he did ask me, whether he asked me or not, I'm gonna give him a 100% no, you know? Considering his behavior from when he helped me edit Casual Reviews of bearRimshot Return to Neverland, I refuse to work with AzuchiGuardian, even up to this day. Ever since after he helped me edit Casual Reviews of bearRimshot Return to Neverland, I totally refuse to work with AzuchiGuardian. Considering what a big troublemaker he can be, you know? But yeah, based on what I did time to in regards to certain videos he made, as you guys can probably see, keep in mind I did not claim rights to his work. In fact, I would never claim rights to something I wouldn't own, especially if it's something owned by Jaimetud. I'd be sure to I definitely would not claim right. You know, when I use clips from the work from Jaimetud's videos into Casual Reviews of bearRimshot, what is a public apology, like with every single clip I used, keep in mind, I did not claim rights to any I do not claim rights to any clips I use in that video, in that same episode. And for those who are still pissed that I'm using your content for that particular episode, I do sincerely apologize for not giving credit to their rightful owners when making that episode. Not that I refuse to, just well, when it comes to Casual Reviews of bearRimshot, what is a public apology, it was the hardest episode I ever worked on so far, period. But I'm definitely going to make sure that when I make the top 11 Dumbest Kingdom Hearts moments, no matter what clips I use, whether it be music, videos, or whatever, or even pictures, I'd be sure to give credit to their rightful owners as much as I can. But, yeah. And, as for why I even bothered using these particular clips of Jaimetud from Casual Reviews of bearRimshot in the first place, with the case of part 2, with the case of when you have Jaimetud going all Don both hates you, Don both hates you, Don both hates you, Out of all the jokes I could find that I could find for that particular moment when discussing Anastasia, it was pretty much the only good joke I can think of when, say, when I brought up the fact that films like Rockadoodle, Thumbelina, and the Pebble Penguin all bombed at the box office. Because, here's the thing about films like Rockadoodle, Thumbelina, and the Pebble and the Penguin. I've personally known people who actually like any of these movies. In fact, when we speak about both Rockadoodle and Thumbelina, there are people who actually like these movies as much as, say, The Secret of NIMH and American Tail, The Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven, and Anastasia. Up to the point that, well, the characters from Rockadoodle and Thumbelina would actually make it into the world of epic battles. Just as much as, say, in the level of The Secret of NIMH and American Tail, Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Anastasia, and Titan A.E. I especially remember back when I was in my secondary school, when I was at Andress, a morning staff member at Andress who was actually a fan of my work, got easily all shocked when I personally mentioned that Thumbelina not only won a Razzie, but also both that movie alongside Rockadoodle both bombed at the box office, So, he would remind me about the fact that characters from Rockadoodle and Thumbelina did actually make it into the world of epic battles. But, yeah. But as for the part where I discuss Jaimetud while talking about Bambi 2, while still discussing Ralph Breaks In, and back then known as Wreck-It Ralph 2, well, the bit where you guys saw me talk about Jaimetud while discussing Bambi 2 and while discussing Ralph Breaks the Internet, I felt it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, especially you, Jaimetud, in case if you're watching this, that I felt the part when he discusses his enjoyment on Bambi 2 felt meaningful. So meaningful, up to the point that if I could ever do a look back at Bambi 2 ever again, especially for an upcoming book I'd like to write, that I'm writing, that would reference Bambi 2, well, I might have to talk about it, whether you all like it or not. But, yeah. So, as you guys can probably tell, what I'm doing with Jaimetud in regards to certain videos he made, just be lucky I did not claim rights to any of his work, for I would never do so. And Jaimetud, if you're ever watching this, do not even think about suing me for if I ever include your music in future projects I work on. For I feel your music, especially from when it's the Halloween and Christmas seasons, felt meaningful. For when we speak about the Haunted Mansion remake you made, I feel it fits well. I'm gonna be honest with you, James, that the Haunted Mansion remix you wrote years ago would be the perfect song I would normally play when it's the Halloween season. Whereas Put a Little Love in Your Christmas definitely sums up when I think of the Christmas season. I'm not gonna lie when I say that. It's true. But anyways, so speaking of which, there is one more thing I need to talk about. this time, it's time for a response to Morgan Ledger. Now, before I can go start reading this long post he wrote, allow for me to explain why I would do such a thing. Now, for those who don't know, when I made my last update vlog, I did actually talk about Morgan Ledger once again. Only this time, unlike the last update vlog, where I was being nice to him, this time when I made my last update vlog in general, I was being not so nice to him. The only reason why I did so is certain things when it comes to Morgan, while he may be regarded as one of those reviewers who inspired me to make casual reviews with bearRimshot, at the same time, there are things about Morgan that have been bugging me recently. Up to the point that when I wrote a Facebook comment about him on this Facebook post that my dear good friend as fanboy Antonio Garcia wrote, that actually became such a big deal within the online reviewing community in general. I would get messages talking about that. And when Jaimetud does share around on social media in regards to what I wrote about Morgan, he would get people to either block me or unfriend me in some cases. But anyways, let's read. Let's get on with the response. Morgan here. Again, normally I would not respond to something like this. But considering Teddy will never learn to let things die down, I can't hold back. Okay. Now, I have no problem letting things die down if I wanted to. Sometimes there are these people out there who just can't move on themselves, which explains why, with the case of AzuchiGuardian, as I've mentioned before many times, as much as I've honestly been moved on from him, he has issues moving on from himself what he wants to be. Anyways, I hope this will be the last time I do something like this. Well, it better be. He made another update video calling me out on things. But this time he decided to explain why he called me out as a pedophile, an anti-Semitic, and quotes animation as something for kids. Okay, I had to be honest with you about that, Morgan. Considering of how when I called you as a pedophile, Morgan, I've had people in general, people on social media, making such a big deal out of it. I would always, up to the point I would get messages about it, and even your pal Jaimetud already got several people to either block me or unfriend me. And in regards to, as for the part where you said, quotes animate something for kids, keep in mind I'm saying you as somebody who quotes animation for kids, not me, for I view animation as not our medium. Anyways, I find the last one ridiculous as I loved Isle of Dogs. Wow, you love Isle of Dogs? Sweet, well, you should have seen it. You should have seen it at the Alamo Draft House. You want to know why? Because when you see a movie like Isle of Dogs at the Alamo Draft House, you get all the good stuff. What's so good about seeing Isle of Dogs at the Alamo Draft House? Well, let's just say, now if you're that big of a sweet tooth, then you should consider trying out the Trash Island Shake. Because let me tell you, Morgan, the Trash Island Shake is just that delish. In fact, out of all the specialty shakes that the Alamo Draft House has made, it's the best one they've made. Period. Or if you're somebody who's in need to eat vegetables, well, try out the veggie noodle bowl. Also delicious. Also delish. Or if you love eating meat so much, well, there's this dish, I forgot the name, well, it consists of sausage and those kebabs. It's those meat lovers kebabs consisting of sausage and chicken. Also really good. And I know you may be thinking it's in New York, that the Alamo Drafthouse only exists in New York. Technically, that's not true, for the Alamo Drafthouse originated in Texas. You see, the only reason why I consider bringing up the Alamo Drafthouse in this one is considering the fact of how you live in Massachusetts, right? Well, there is an Alamo Drafthouse located in Massachusetts you could have gone to. It's in Springfield. But, yeah, seriously, Morgan. If you ever get to see olive dogs at the Alamo Drafthouse, you should go try out the Trash Island Shake. It's really good, as well as the veggie noodle bowl, as well as this sausage and chicken kebab dish. Forgot the name, but yeah. Anyways, these reasons are all because I wasn't on his side about that troll who bugged him. Well, you got that part right, you know. You weren't listening you weren't understanding about this situation I've had with AzuchiGuardian for a while. I get it that you hate him and you don't care about him, that's fine and all. But when you say that I made him up, that is taking things way too far, man. Not good, man. Not good. But anyways, I debated about doing a video response, but I felt it would add fuel to the fire. Well, it's a good choice you didn't do that. But anyways, however, considering some of the things he brought up, I have to get this off my chest. So here's a response to some of his claims. 1. I have no idea who AzuchiGuardian is. Okay, good for you. Once a time, my dear readers, I was friends with someone on YouTube other than Teddy, who had 2 accounts. One for uploading bad movies, and the other to troll Channel Awesome. Back then it was that guy with the, I know what you're talking about, that guy with the glasses. This is what led me to theorize that Teddy created AzuchiGuardian. Okay. Truth be told, Morgan, I have never created a second YouTube account. I am not going to lie when I say that. In fact, I have never created a second Google account in general, period. Though if I ever did, well, if I ever did create a second Google account in general, it would be for private use. How so? Well, if I ever did create a second Google account, it's not because I wanted to, but rather it would be more for work. Whereas the place where I'm uploading this video right now as we speak, this is where I'm able to do everything I love to do just for fun. All for funsies. As you guys can see. And yes, this even includes the place, the same exact place where you see me upload this video, and that's where I can look up anything that contains mature content if I wanted to. Whereas the second account I have, I wouldn't be able to do it for it's unsafe for work. Whereas here, where you guys watching this video, if you guys actually watching this on YouTube right now, is where I have the capability of doing not safe for work stuff if I wanted to. But anyways, I don't know if this is true, but I could honestly care less because we don't know AzuchiGuardian's real name. Well, technically, that's because, well, you ever notice that there are these YouTubers who want to hide who are not fans of revealing identities? Apparently, AzuchiGuardian is not the only YouTuber who would dare do such things. Remember Pan Pizza? Well, he doesn't reveal much, and yet nobody complained about that. The same thing also happened with the Lonely Goomba, as well as those countless YouTubers who make downfall parodies. I don't know why you're making such a big deal, Morgan. If he doesn't want to reveal his name, leave him alone. But anyways, it would help if you knew the person behind the YouTube account. Just calling them by the YouTube account and calling them out by saying the YouTube user does not help. Because it only proves that you do not know the person as a whole. Okay then, well, like I mentioned before, if somebody wants their privacy, let them have their privacy and they want to. Because, sure, it's one thing you may not like AzuchiGuardian, or let alone you may not care for AzuchiGuardian. But at the end of the day, a person's a person, no matter how small. This is why I'm between the fact that Teddy's AzuchiGuardian. Or this is a feud between two people and I'm dragged into it. In all honesty, let's just say it's a feud between me and another person, you know? Let me tell you, he was a total nut job when I made videos with him. Anyways, side note, at around 52 minutes in, he claims AzuchiGuardian was on YouTube for longer than him. Looking at both YouTube pages, says Teddy joined YouTube on July 27th, 2013. AzuchiGuardian joined on September 1st, 2013. I just want to point that detail out. My suspicion rises. Okay then. In all honesty, maybe you may not have looked at. Well, if that's the case, well, you may not have noticed that AzuchiGuardian already has not one, not two, not even three, but 4 YouTube accounts. The other ones, which he did create before my time, if that wasn't good enough, consisting of Deathflame Armada, Death Blaster X, and Flaming Ballista. And if that wasn't good enough, well, I will also say this, that AzuchiGuardian also has a Dailymotion account that was first created before my time. Simply known as Deathflame XL. Anyways, I have not watched AzuchiGuardian's videos, neither has Caleb Korger. Okay, that is a lie. That is an effing lie. With the case of you, Morgan, well, before I got wrongfully banned from the Mr. Code and Animat fan groups, I always knew from the get-go you would not have liked. After watching your Cinema Talk episode, I always knew you would have hated working with AzuchiGuardian from the get-go anyways. But as for Caleb Korger, well, I still don't believe you when it comes to Caleb not watching AzuchiGuardian, because take a look at his remarks. He's clearly proven that he is indeed a major AzuchiGuardian fanboy. And you wouldn't believe who else in the anime fan base dare glorify AzuchiGuardian's idiocy. That's right, Mia Ray is also someone from the anime fan base who would do anything to glorify AzuchiGuardian's idiocy. Even without admitting any flaws she has with AzuchiGuardian, she just listens. When it comes to Caleb Korger and Mia Ray, they both like to listen every single thing AzuchiGuardian says about me. And keep in mind, when we speak about AzuchiGuardian, this is the same exact person who helped illegalize the idea of preschool characters popping up in crossovers, including as toys to life video games. And if it weren't for those nasty remarks, if it weren't for what Caleb Korger, Alexander Mirabella, Chrissy Trotta, and Mia Ray all did to me back in 2017 to present, not only would I have not gone through a stressful creative life, But also, how can I put this? Alright, but also, not only would I not go through such a stressful creative life after learning about what would happen to these My Little Pony characters in both Epic Battles 4 and Epic Battles 5, but also I would not have lost my friendship with Euro Wheatley, even though there are other reasons behind that as well, on why I lost my friendship with Euro. As well as, of course, being as somebody, because that I've personally gone through such a stressful creative life, I would regularly have bad blood sugar every single day. Now, for those who don't realize this, sadly, yes, people, I am diabetic. Which explains why, if you guys see me drink juice, I'd only be drinking Crystal Light. Whereas when if you guys ever see me drink soda, I would only drink Diet. Yeah, sorry for not talking about it, but normally when it comes to those kind of parts about me, I'm really not a fan of talking about it, to be honest. But, yeah, and when sweetening things like coffee to your oatmeal, I would use the colored sugars, not the white packets. But, yeah. Anyways, moving on. I don't even look at the videos from that channel. Well, good for you. Because you want to know why? Because you can't believe everything AzuchiGuardian says, especially if you want to know what's going on with the whereabouts in regards to casual reviews with bearRimshot. Moving on. The only reason Teddy's calling out Kale about constantly is because Teddy got banned due to some unwelcome behavior on the Anime fan page. I will leave it at that because it is none of my business. Okay. From my understanding, why I've been calling Kale about regularly is because, well, yes, he did treat me unwelcome, but there were reasons behind that. When I say there's a reason behind that, I mean stupid reasons. When Caleb Korger wrongfully banned me from the Anime Fan Club, he's just making a big deal over not one, but two small things. The first one being when I personally criticized Mike Mixtape. Now, for those who don't know, back when the new year just began, back in 2017, I personally criticized Mike Mixtape. Why did I do such a thing? Well, let's just say at that moment, Mike Mixtape. Now, in 2017, some drama between me and Mike happened. What went wrong between Mike and Mixtape? Well, Mike Mixtape at that time was threatening me so badly over this Halloween trick that AzuchiGuardian pulled on Jaimetud. So when I tried reporting Mike Mixtape's childish behavior to both the Mr. Code and Anime admins, they didn't listen, and boy, did that broke my heart. And the second one being, of course, I was liking Morgan too much. Now, as I've mentioned before, there are other YouTubers I watch besides Morgan, which even includes Animat, and yeah, if you guys still don't believe me, take a look at who I'm subscribed to, and you'll see that there are other reviewers I watch than just Morgan. So quit watching AzuchiGuardian, Caleb Korger, if you're watching this. But anyways, also, the two people he mentions at the 1 hour mark in his update video, I have no idea who they are, and I have no interest. Good, because you want to know why you shouldn't want to be around Ethan Brown and Mr. Harden? Well, let me say this, Morgan. If you really, really love animation so much, you would have hated the hell out of both Ethan Brown and Mr. Harden for what they both did to me over being friends with someone who not only loves animation, who's not only an animation fanboy, but also defends the idea of Disney in epic battles, My Little Pony in epic battles, Thomas the Tank Engine in epic battles, Sesame Street in epic battles, and Blue's Clues in epic battles. And I wouldn't be surprised if people like Mr. Coat, Animat, and Tucan LDM dare hate on those two people for that, the same exact way of how a lot of reviewers like you dare hate on AzuchiGuardian, And the reason why I say that about that Mr. Coat, Animat, and Tucan LDM is because with the case of Mr. Coat, in case you guys haven't noticed, he made a video where he talked about the difference between a children's film and a family film. And when it comes to a movie like Epic Battles, this is a family film we're talking about. Even if I may have the need to regularly include some preschool characters in Epic Battles, you guys need to keep an open mind about the fact that you actually have people who actually love these characters. Just as much as with Disney, and with Pixar, and with Shrek, and with SpongeBob, and with the Fairly Odd Parents, and Star Wars, and Mario, and Legend of Zelda, and Sonic, and Looney Tunes, and Marvel, and DC. You get the idea. Whereas with the case of Animat, well, if you guys know Animat very, very well, you guys can tell that Animat is someone who believes animation should be treated as an art medium instead of just a kid's genre, And it's no surprise Animat once did an editorial talking about it. And then, of course, with the case of Tucan LDM, he already made a fan-made crossover web series called My Little Pony Meets, which successfully proves that My Little Pony characters can be in crossovers. So screw you, AzuchiGuardian, and screw you, Ethan Brown, and screw you, Mr. Harden, for thinking such weird things. But anyways, I closed down my Curious Cat account because Mike Janik was stalking me, not Teddy. Thank God. See, Morgan, told you I have high respect for you, man, even if you can be on your Grinchy side. Obviously. Janik was desperate to try and remain in contact with me. When I found out that 80% of his questions were from him and another friend of his, I closed it to avoid any contact from him. See, told you I have high respect for you, Morgan. So screw you, Caleb Korger, screw you, Chrissy Trotta, and screw you, Tim Johnson, for all glorifying AzuchiGuardian's idiocy. And you should all go to hell for that. And anyways, moving on, 4, I have no idea what Epic Battles is. I never came across or found what Teddy is talking about. And if they do exist, I have no interest in seeing what it is. Okay. Well, in case you haven't noticed, back in spring 2017, I did an update vlog talking about why it's not on YouTube. And no, I'm not refusing to upload it on YouTube. In fact, I always wanted to get it uploaded onto my YouTube page ASAP. It's just that it is worth understanding that when I do Epic Battles, there's a major difference between when I do Epic Battles, the main movies, and when I do casual reviews with bearRimshot. That's why it'd be much more easier to upload all casual reviews with bearRimshot based content rather than Epic Battles. But like I mentioned before, I have a spin-off in the works, which this time, unlike all the movies, which Dante would be the person both directing and writing, this time it's my turn to be on the director's chair. And believe me, Morgan, when Battle of the Groups does come out, you'll be pleasantly surprised with certain. You'll be happy with what it has to offer. And I think, and when it actually does come out, you'll actually be able to play it as long as you own either a play table or at least any device where you can play games digitally without having to waste any money. On top of that, Teddy has never come to me and asked me to do any co-reviews with him. Okay, technically that is a lie. Technically, I did ask you. Remember when I made my June 2016 update vlog talking about you in regards to your departure from Mr. Good and Friends, wishing you the best of luck with your future life? But anyways, and even if he did, I most likely would not work as I'm considering of how he's been acting up. Okay, well, technically that's old news. Purely old news. This is back in 2012 we're talking about. At the time when I asked you to do that, this is back in 2016 we're talking about. Not 2012, not 2013. In fact, up to that point, already changed. In fact, in case you haven't come by to my YouTube page just now, you'll notice that I actually changed. If you don't believe me, well, I've been making more short videos now, just like you and others asked me to. And also, P.S. says AzuchiGuardian was to ruin everything. But anyways, the moral of the story today is this, my dear reader. If you have someone who is bugging you or did something that hurt you, distance yourself and focus on you. Okay, funny enough, when I released the latest episode of Casual Reviews of bearRimshot, what is a public apology with more dislikes, I did manage to learn to be proud of what I do, regardless of what trolls say. Anyways, pick up the pieces and just move on. Okay then, or else you'll be creating 90-minute videos ranting about it. Doesn't have to be 90 minutes, but yeah. Then you are very pathetic. Whatever. Look, I've been through a lot. Sorry to hear that, man. A close parent of mine has lupus and is trying to fight it. Sorry to hear that. I send condolences to you for that. A sibling of mine has a major battle with depression, and they're trying to get into nursing. I'm sorry to hear that. More condolences to you. I've been through depression myself. The feuds of my grandparents are more J.R. Tolkien worthy than what Teddy tried to stir up. Well, says AzuchiGuardian, who wants to ruin everything. But in all seriousness, if you're that desperate to write a book about the making of Casual Reviews of bearRimshot, only listen to me. You do not listen to what AzuchiGuardian says, because whatever AzuchiGuardian says about Casual Reviews of bearRimshot or me is a lie. In fact, AzuchiGuardian, as you guys can probably tell by now, clearly knows absolutely nothing about Casual Reviews of bearRimshot in general, especially with the whereabouts, you know. Moving on, my stepdad is making a massive recovery and fixing up the house. Also, sending condolences for you for that. Friends and family supported me in every way. Same here, Morgan. I have people who support me too, despite those trolls. Anyways, I plan to have some new episodes of vaulting and helping a struggling artist overseas who is assisting me with art for my novel. Funny enough, I have ideas of not just episodes of Casual Reviews with bearRimshot I'd love to make, but also other projects I'd love to do. Ideas of various different projects I would love to do for my YouTube page myself. Anyways, moving on, and just yesterday, I have to have my alternator in my car replaced as my car battery was on its last legs because of it. Sorry to hear that, Morgan. Again, I send condolences to you. Anyways, am I going to let this one person with these false claims bring me down? Okay, where did you get the idea that I made up false claims? Let me guess. AzuchiGuardian told you so? Or it could have been misunderstanding. But anyways, moving on. This one person who was obviously seeking attention in negative ways instead of optimistic way. Heck no. Really? Technically, I'm always optimistic. It's just that, well, as much as I try to be optimistic, when it comes to certain things. As much as I try to be optimistic, think positive as much as I can, at the same time, there are those people whose names I'm not going to mention who always like to think negative one way or another. I look ahead to 2019 and plan to move away from things like this. Good for you. If you two are looking ahead to a new year, what do you say? Continue to feel fire like this? Move away to see a new year. Okay. In all honesty, Morgan, if I were you, I'd much rather, whenever New Year comes, I always look forward to New Year coming. In fact, there's a lot I look forward to do, in all honesty, in my life. And I'm sure you may be wondering whether or not has anything good happened to me in this year, despite some quirks. In all honesty, yes. Yes, there have been. Some positives that happened to me this year so far include I went to MagFest for the 4th year in a row. Also, I've been regularly working on making casual reviews of bearRimshot, the top 11 dumbest Kingdom Hearts moments. And now that I know how to edit my own videos, I'm currently able to be able to release more side projects on my YouTube page. Now imagine you're somebody who dreams to see me make more short videos, right? Well, now you got your wish already. Considering the fact, well, yeah, it's something I've always been asked to do ever since back in 2015 when I'd be making longer videos regularly. So yeah, just be lucky that I'm able to make shorter videos now, since now I know how to edit my own videos. Besides, most parody videos, as you guys can see, are usually very short anyways. But yeah. And another good thing that happened to me this year so far, I got to attend to an advanced screening of the Lego Movie 2 at my local Alamo. In fact, I saw the Lego Movie 2 twice at my local Alamo. I actually liked it. Sure, it's no Ralph Breaks the Internet, but still enjoyable for what it is. And thank God I got to skip seeing that live-action Dumbo remake tonight. Yeah, when it comes to live-action remakes, I'm still not a fan of live-action remakes. So at least we got a lucky shot with Christopher Robin and hopefully Mulan. Hopefully it can be better than Mulan 2, even if it may not top the charm that the original Mulan has to offer. But yeah. And yeah. And another good thing that also happened to me back in 2019 is I got my hands on a Nintendo Switch as a late Christmas gift and a GPT Win 2 as a birthday gift. Which means that when I'm not home, like let's just say if I was going on any road trips, either I'd be going on vacation, or if I were going on any paratransit rides, when I'm not using my iPhone to keep myself entertained, I'd be using either my Switch to enjoy my new games, or my GPT Win 2 to enjoy retro games, including those released either on the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, or the PC. And another good thing that happened to me this year, as for anything that I look forward to, well, yes. Not only are there more episodes of Casual Reviews with bearRimshot, all worth looking forward to, but also, like I said before, I have ideas of 5 different projects I'd love to work on for my YouTube page. And also, when June kicks in, I'll be graduating from Project Search, and also, And also, this summer, I'm going to be going on lots and lots of vacations, which hopefully especially includes going to California to see my brother. For I always wanted to visit my brother Evan. And excuse me. And yeah, I'm really not gonna lie to you when I say this Morgan Ledger. I have a lot I have to look forward. There's a lot I look forward to in life as well, as much as you do. And before I can close this update vlog up, I have one more thing I need to talk about. If you come to my YouTube page, mostly just for vlogs, I'm sure all of you are probably gonna be asking me how come I didn't bother uploading new vlogs ever since the last time I uploaded an update vlog. To tell you guys the truth, I've been busy with other things in my life. But don't worry, people. Hopefully when I have free time, I'll be sure to make these special vlogs as soon as possible. For this season, not only can you guys expect me to do one for New York Comic Con and one for MagFest, but also you guys can expect me to do one for Star Wars Celebration as well. And this closes my update vlog for spring 2019. I will see you in the next upload, and I rest my case. Bye.